Welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, today I want to talk to you about my little strawberry experiment that we did over the winter. And there's the strawberry, or a strawberry, but last year towards the autumn the wife bought some massive strawberries and they were very, very nice. So I decided to try a little experiment where we slice the skins from the strawberries, place them into pots, cover them up and see what happens. I uploaded the video and Babette, who's in the garden, said ideally you want to leave the skins on top. So I've got a little something to show you. So there's the strawberry. Well, excuse me a moment, don't anybody else to have it, but basically the birds, slugs and everybody eats the strawberry, they poop it out somewhere and the seeds grow. Very nice. Not as nice as our own that we grow in the garden, of course. And no, I'm not going to poop it out and see if it grows. So one experiment was the strawberries skins in the pot and I covered them up. The next one I put in a day later after Babette's comment, and I sliced another one of Mrs. K's strawberries up and just lay on top, and there's quite a difference, but the outcome is basically the same. These are open on the top and these were covered, but they're all in different stages. Homemade compost, we get volunteer tomatoes. I've already planted 12, we'll show you those, one that I prepared earlier, but I've made use of these containers. As you can see, some of these strawberries now throwing the runners off. I'm taking those off. I will let them fruit. Again, more tomato plants, but I'm going to put this tray into this container that we found. I've drilled the holes in that high up so it's got a little sump, and I'm just basically going to place them out. I was going to try and plant more per pot, but we know how big the strawberries get. That one's a little bit small, so we'll go for a bigger one. Slowly running out of space. This has had a few little goodies put in the bottom. And we can always add something later. The only trouble I've ever had with planting in containers is the vine weevil, and I'm going to treat these with some of my steeped garlic to see if we can keep things away. It'll make it stink. It is powerful stuff, that stuff I've put in the bottles, but that's all nicely done, and now all I've got to do is find somewhere to put them. But I've had a good idea that I did see on Bill and Val's allotment. So let's go and have a little look. Again, using the nearly pads from the weight training equipment that I recycled. As you can see, I'm still a dad, the birds are doing well, and the parent birds have now got used to me, and I ignore them, they ignore me. But I've made full use of the barrels. All these barrels are interconnected with the siphoning system, so we take the water from here and we drag water from the areas, and when it fills up it goes back. But I've thought, well, I'll make use of this space. There's the big tank, and as you can see, a little bit of dew about this morning. and I'm pleased with those. There's the holes so far up. Create a little sump, and I've planted, this is the loft tank, water tank, cold water tank. Was going to try and use it in the polytunnel to water my plants, but not exactly suitable. You can see I'm just struggling with the light there, with the sun on just coming up in the east. Planted the carrots, I put some cardboard on and the polycarbonate cover to hopefully stop the carrots and the compost drying out before they germinate. So Nantes 5, oh, I keep saying Nantes, I think it's Nantes 5, the baby Chantenay, oh come on light, and the Autumn King 2. I was going to put the labels on the tank here, but obviously dirt mess. I will do that once it dries out. So these separators came in handy. Separate the carrots, not as if it really matters, because a carrot is a carrot at the end of the day. This box has had my homemade compost up to about there, some compost out of the bins, I'll show you shortly, and then the last bit was half a bag of compost, bought compost, and then on top I've put a bit of cocoa coir. The cocoa coir will dry out and then help protect what's underneath. I've got a little bit of leaf mould left, a little bit of my homemade compost that we dumped starting this time last year, and there's a couple of pots there ready to go in. I've been using the cannabis compost that we find with the added perlite and a little bit of the cocoa coir. It's got quite a few roots in it, but doesn't matter, all rots down in the end. But I'm so pleased that I saved all my homemade compost to fill all the pots that we've got growing this year. The courgettes that we fried are coming back to life slowly. Just remove those because you don't want the plant putting its energy into those. Now, don't that look better? And we have got the fruit starting to form. This camera tablet doesn't like the sunshine. I've now got the canes in the gravity fed wick guttering system, and created that little bit of white plastic mesh for the cucumbers. This has been up and running now for about 3 weeks, and that's all the water we've used, probably 40 to 50 litres. This is a 210 litre blue barrel. Whilst we're on plot 1, right next to the birdies, the giant poppies are coming out, and the wildflower wildlife garden is coming alive, and I'm just going to let it get on with it now. Obviously there'll be the dominant flowers that overpower some of the things that I planted earlier on in the season. It's a beautiful day, as you can see, with the sunshine. Apologies for that. What I did last year was have a barrel there and a barrel on top with a tap on to do some sort of feed system, but we're not high enough, so it looks like I've got to try and find some 2x2 paving slabs, flags, to raise that up just a wee touch before I put any water in it. The staging is going to be about there, so you can see the tap is just a little bit too low for what I want to do in the future. some spare tomatoes. I've still got to put some more leaf mould around some of these, and I've made a start in here and getting some of the structures up, but they're 8-foot canes, and I'm just careful that they're not touching the plastic. As predicted, one of the onions has gone to seed, or going to seed. I'll take the top out of that, and we'll just keep an eye on them, and we'll take it. And what's the point in storing them when you can eat them straight away? Some of the cucumbers are doing absolutely marvellous, well worth keeping them, starting them late, etc. And I ran out of time last night. I've got to fasten that one onto there. Hopefully you can see what I can see, or what I can't see on the screen. And I'll get the supports in here. But if I don't hurry up and get the supports on these, I don't know, but these are the Shed Wars heirloom varieties. So I've got a little bit of work to do today. But we was talking about the shelving, and if you remember, I'm going to spin you around, sorry guys, all the materials that I was going to use for the where are we, the staging, I ended up using on the tunnel on the inside and the outside, just leaving me a few bits left. I'm just trying to keep all my wood together so I know what I've got. But isn't it strange when you do stop work and you suddenly find something else that might do the job? Let's go and have a look. Now, when I heard about this job going on, I thought, ooh, and as you can see, it's been in a heavy road traffic collision, but there were some decent panels that I'm able to straighten out. It's quite heavy, but it won't be so intrusive when the staging's folded down in the polytunnel, so it'll let all the light through instead of having all those wooden slats. And what I was thinking was to use the grow bag trays. Now I've got enough room to make 2 out of each one. So the intentions are to have the staging that wide, sit that on there, have the guttering run in alongside the full length of the polytunnel with water in, and having the wick capillary matting dangling in the guttering and drawing the moisture up over and to where the plants are. So big bonus, really pleased. That should do the job really well. What have you actually used that's unusual that may help people in the comments? And we saw the hose pipe there, and I found another hose pipe in a skip. Unfortunately, because it's all coiled up, it's oh, that wasn't me, honest. It just sits like that for the gravity, and because I've encircled that better, it does hang better. So I'm going to have to unreel that, but most of the barrels now are all connected. But even if I don't need it, somebody else might, and we may be able to do a bit of bartering. All right, I'll move. I added a few more blue barrels in because I had to top all these up so that we could get the siphoning correct, and we were due some storms. We didn't get any, but I put some more barrels in just to make sure that the levels were low enough, and these barrels can then be moved to where we need them. But all these are connected up. I've disconnected this one so I can use this water up. I've put that stone on top of there because I've cut that many holes in it that it started to warp. 2 holes is normally okay, but when I've put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes in that one, it distorted. I don't think I'll be popping anything on there to as planters because I can't reach it, but it's certainly good to utilise any space that we've got. This is my fish poo container. I need to use the new pens so that it doesn't disappear. That's the fish poo from the filters from my pond, and that gets used on the potatoes, and I just water into the ridges, and hopefully that'll prevent the blight. But if I put plenty of water in now and then stop watering when the blight warnings start, we'll be fine. Thanks for watching, guys. Please hit the like or dislike button for the interaction. It's a glorious morning, Saturday the 5th. Best time of the day, up early, get done, get out the sun. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.